About what the government can do to help. I've already mentioned they could give direct financial support, and of course they could. Earlier this year the government gave loans to a lot of businesses and that helped their cash flows. But this time it's got to be more radical. First of all, loans have to be repaid. And the businesses that are now going to make more losses are going to be so vulnerable that another loan is not what they need. They need a grant, or they need the government to inject new share capital in those businesses to make sure that they don't have to repay the money they are now going to receive to survive. If we want to support jobs, there have to be employers. If we don't support employers with either grants or capital injection now, very large numbers, by which I mean hundreds of thousands of small employers are going to fail in the UK sometime in 2021. But there's another and very direct way in which the government can help small businesses, and this one is more radical. I've discussed the problem for small businesses being continuing to make payment of their overhead costs. Businesses can meet their direct costs if there's a furlough scheme. Direct costs are what they buy in to sell and the payments of their staff. But the overheads that a business has are fixed. That's basically what the definition of an overhead is. And overheads include things like rent, they include things like bank interest, they include the cost of preparing accounts, they include insurance, they include business rates, although those are admittedly on hold at present, and so on. These are the fixed ongoing costs of running the whole operation. Now, these need to be addressed because in very many businesses now, there will not be enough profit made to cover these overhead costs. And the government has to now decide who its priority is with regard to the economy. I know governments hate deciding who to prioritise within the economy. Since the 1970s, no government has wanted to do that. They've wanted to stand back, walk away and let the market decide what happens. But this is not possible anymore because we're facing an absolutely fundamentally different environment from anything in the working lifetime of anyone who's now facing it. So what they have to do is decide, are they going to prioritise the survival of trading businesses, whatever they do? Are they going to prioritise the employment of people, which basically means keeping trading businesses going? Or are they going to prioritise the interests of landlords and bankers? Now, my answer is that landlords and bankers have to come at the bottom of the pile. And actually, I'm going to make a slightly controversial comment and say it's really important for landlords and bankers that they are at the bottom of the pile. Why? Well, businesses can't afford to pay their rent right now. Many of them will be literally making a choice, as I know some households will be, between literally keeping the day-to-day needs going or paying things like the rent. Businesses will not be able to do that in many cases. The landlords can sue, of course. They could throw businesses out. But the reality is that so many businesses will fail if landlords take that attitude, that there will be an enormous number of vacant properties in 2021 and no businesses to occupy them. Landlords would not be serving their own best interest by trying to recover rent at present. And it's the same with banks. Banks could try and recover the loans that they're due, well, apart from the ones currently offered under government guarantee schemes, which will not be repayable until 2021. But the ongoing other rent and lease obligations due to banks, they could try and recover them. But again, if they do try to do that and force businesses out of activity, there's nothing for them to recover in the future. Suppose they recover a leased asset, will they be able to sell it? Will somebody want it? Who knows? Probably not. Will they be able to collect the money if they force the sale of a business? Will they find a buyer? Almost certainly at present not. So it's in nobody's interest at the moment to force real trading companies out of business to pay the rent or to pay the bank. But what we really need is a structure to this. Because what's important is that we don't have insolvent banks, and maybe we don't have insolvent landlords, because we don't want them to go bust either. So what the government's got to do is actually put in place statutory rent and bank loan repayment holidays. If a company is told you don't have to pay your lease at the moment, that's a lease on a car or equipment or whatever else, or you don't have to pay your bank loan at present, then it's not a bad debt for the purposes of the regulation of the bank or the other lender who's given the money. And that's critical, because banks and lenders are regulated, and if their bad debts go too high, they themselves are recorded as being in deep financial trouble and all sorts of consequences flow. But once the government steps in and says, no, this is a statutory period, you've just got to extend the term of this lease or this loan. It was for 3 years and it's now going to be for 4 years, and you can add the missing payments on the end, then these organisations will not fail. The same with landlords, although it's very hard to see how you could add value on at the end here. Landlords are going to have to be told, you will take a cut at present. And the cut might have to be literally a fixed sum. It might be 50%. It might be that they'll have to be told 50% and you can't recover it until 2022, and you can recover the whole sum by 2025 or something like that. Because otherwise we are going to see literally high streets full of empty shops, and there are enough already, as we know, in most high streets that are empty. And we're going to see industrial premises sitting vacant too. So if we're going to keep the commercial property market actually functioning and alive, we have to see rents at the moment being permitted to go unpaid. And if we're going to keep banks from failing, we have to see loans deferred by law. If we do that, if we literally say, it's okay, you can put these items on hold, we have a chance of keeping commercial companies that employ people and keep our economy turning in place throughout 2021, with a chance of recovery from, let's hope, 2022 onwards. Unless we do that, we are going to head for the most horrible situation where landlords and banks will have to try to recover debts, which if they try to pursue will only force jobs and companies and employers and everybody into a worse situation than they are now. So the government has to intervene. It has to create new rules, new terms of trade for us all. And if it does so, we could make it through this. If it ducks its responsibility, we're in bigger trouble than we ever thought we were. Thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, I'm pleased. If you want to see other videos like this, there are links below this screen. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter as well, @RichardJMurphy. Look at my blog, Tax Research UK. And if you'd like to donate, because this video series is being largely paid for by donations, there is a donations button on every single post on my blog. Thanks a lot.